Welcome to SeaRoxx, and welcome to our first episode of Whatever Wednesday. Whatever Wednesday is basically that. Whatever. Whatever art, whatever inspires me, whatever inspires you, whatever I feel like doing, you'll see on a Wednesday. Will it be every Wednesday? Whatever. But good news is, as long as you're subscribed, then you'll get notified when I put out whatever on a Wednesday. And if you don't see this on a Wednesday, then whatever. I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a like. Subscribe to the channel where we can have more Whatever Wednesdays and regular content. Now, let's dive in. Well, I think some seasonal art would be a great start to our Whatever Wednesday. I found these great jewel-toned goblets at Hobby Lobby, and we're going to use those to create a glass heart. Now, you're also going to need something to cut it with, which I use glass nippers. You could also use a small hammer, just use protective gear, and this is my pattern, just kind of a fat, chubby heart. My board is 6x6 wood panel, and I'm going to paint it gold because that's what I like. And you can do whatever makes you happy. Here's how it looks using the roller. Now, let's move on to some glass. I ever so lightly traced this heart onto here, but just be careful you don't make too dark of a mark because it's going to be impossible to erase it once you put the resin on. The next step is either frustrating or freeing. It just depends on how you look at things, but I really enjoy it, and all you get to do is just kind of layer and design and create with the glass. You kind of look at the shapes. Again, it's like making a puzzle and put it together and layer it up. So I'm going to fast forward and let you enjoy the process. If you're enjoying today's video and you like the Whatever Wednesday concept, please splash that like button, click the bell. You'll never miss a video that way. Once you have a design or pattern that you like, it is time for some resin. We are using my favorite art resin. The resin in this piece, we're going to have two parts to it. So two different sessions, 2 different days, whatever you want to call it. So this first part is a little tedious, and all you're doing is just drizzling the resin over the top, connecting the pieces using the resin. Also, if you have any sharp edges, kind of run that resin right over the edge and it will help soften it. When you're drizzling the resin, also drizzle just a little bit off of the edge so you're connecting your glass to your substrate. You don't want to make any puddles around that heart, A, because it'll start to float away on you, and B, it's going to affect your next resin session, which is the next day. But while your resin is still a little tacky, go ahead and use this opportunity to add some bling. And I'm going to use this opportunity to invite you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Splash the like button, click the bell. That way you don't miss any regular content or anything on a Whatever Wednesday. It is the next day and everything is secure on this piece. If it's not, this is a perfect time because you have the resin out for your second session. A helpful hint is to add some resin to the edges first, and that will help reduce drips and just go easy on the top when you get there. A couple things to be aware of when you do the top part. Only put the resin around the edge and touching your glass so you can adhere them together. Don't pour the resin over the glass because then it just becomes a kind of a muddy resin mess and you lose all your detail. You may have some glass that doesn't sit flush with your substrate, whatever you're using, and I like to just tuck that resin right on in there so everything is a nice even coat and you would have to strain to see the difference. After your top is resined, you're going to torch for bubbles, cover it up to keep the dust out, and Our reveal is next. Look at all those details. Such a pretty little heart full of glass and beads. And yes, that is a blanket of snow that I still have in my yard. Hey, thanks for joining me today on our first Whatever Wednesday episode. As always, I hope you enjoyed yourself and perhaps you're inspired to try something like this glass art piece. I invite you to join the SeaRoxx family, like, share, subscribe, and then you won't miss any videos, whether it's a Wednesday or our regular content that comes out weekly. And don't forget, you can find me on my other social media platforms, as well as my website, and anything that is non-coastal goes into my Etsy shop. So thanks for watching, and until next time, go beach or go home. I think we need to come up with a new saying for Wednesdays, don't you think?